Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kaplan Field for what is the final women's soccer home game of the year. I'm Lucas Stackmole. Back in the booth is Bob Hauk. Bob, tell us, where were you? How was your weekend? You were missed.
Yeah, my weekend was nice. It's been a minute. I think I missed the last two, right?
You missed the doubleheader on Saturday.
Because I was doing volleyball on Saturday. There we go.
Right.
I think I missed another game before that. I haven't done women's in a long time,
Yeah.
so it feels great to be back. I'm excited. Girls are number 6 in the conference, so they're scratching and clawing their way into a playoff spot, trying to cling on to that last slot. I was doing volleyball. The women won an exhilarating 5-set thriller against Farmingdale. A Farmingdale squad our women's volleyball team hasn't beat in 10 years.
So an impressive win on the volleyball front. Bob Hauk on the call for that. And Bob, you had alluded to this, but this game, at least for the Knights women's, this game has some serious playoff implications. The Knights currently sit at 5-3. They are on a 3-game losing streak, but they are currently the last team in the playoff picture. So against a Maritime team, Bob, you were telling me that the Knights have not lost to ever. This is a perfect chance for them out to pick up those crucial 3 points in a late season playoff push.
Of course, 3 points is always huge at any point. They don't ask how, they ask how many. So if you're the Knights, I'd imagine you're going to go out here, get your seniors the ball on senior day. So happy senior day to our seniors, and just go score as much as you can and win by whatever you want.
So, Bob, as we mentioned, the women's team on the schneid, if you will, 3 straight losses after opening the season 5-0. But again, this is the perfect chance. It's a midweek contest. This is the perfect chance to get those 3 huge points. This, again, Bob, we mentioned it. This is the last time, hopefully not the last time. Hopefully we host a playoff game. But as of right now, this is the last women's game you and I are set to broadcast.
That's tough stuff, and you know what? If you got to get it done on the road, you got to get done on the road. So it is what it is. We're in for a party today, and as the statistician and color man and rules analyst, we do have number 1 Juliana Iwashko starting today, so I haven't seen her face in a long time. The usual starting goalkeeper, Elizabeth Lenan, unavailable for unknown reasons because we are not an ESPN level sports broadcast, so we don't know. But Lenan and Iwashko about the same in their save percentage and wins this year.
The Privateers all ready to go at midfield. The Knights just now breaking the huddle. The Privateers in navy going left to right. Your Mount St. Mary Knights in white going right to left. The whistle blows. Bob, it's time to party for the final time this year. That's crazy to say as that ball's taken away by Isabella Milburn. Milburn is swinging for Tanko. Tanko back towards the middle of the field. And, Bob, we're underway.
And it's weird to say that it is the last time this year because it's about 60 and a little chilly out here, and we start the year and it's sunny and about 80. So we've definitely taken a full circle or full semicircle here on a entire revolution into the second half of the season.
And fall weather in full swing, Bob. I mean, you missed it, but I was talking about a whole bunch Saturday. I mean, after that nor'easter last week, and fall is really back in full force as the Knights get the ball in deep early. The Privateers struggling to get it out. Mahali got a foot on it. Nakarado will now swing it to the far sideline, picking it up as Welsh. Welsh gets it in deep. Tango gets it off her foot. That ball bounces just outside the box. The Privateers have a chance to gather it, and it'll be sent out of play. Throw-in coming from Mount St. Mary.
I love Privateers. That's such a cool name.
I feel like we have this talk every time we play a team with an interesting matchup, but we'll go over it again. I mean, the Skyline, we got some pretty good mascots. I mean, the Knight is awesome. Privateers, awesome. The Mariners down at Merchant Marine.
A great one.
The Griffins of Sarah Lawrence.
Griffins is a great one.
As Welsh's pass ends up out of play behind the end line. No Knight in the area to get a foot on it, but a solid start on offense early. The Knights wasting no time working the ball into the attacking third. As a goal kick coming for the Privateers. Goalkeeper Estela Quintero will leave it for a teammate of hers. Arm is raised, ball ready to be fired away. It's done so. Low line drive that'll land right around the perimeter of the attacking third. That ball bouncing around. Tango comes away with it. She'll swing it for Mahali operating out of the middle of the field. Mahali will get it to Baldwin. Baldwin and Hansen let it go. Now it's Barone. Barone will swing it for Schotter on the outside of the box. Schotter picked up by Rashay Gibson. Gibson hailing from Freeport, Bahamas. As Schotter works it inside, that ball's still bouncing around. It will stay in play. Giving chase is Madeline Powers. That ball stays in play. Barone able to take it away. Barone guarded by Powers. Barone will swing it for Hansen. Hansen gets it inside the top of the box for Schotter. Schotter loses it. And here comes Maritime. That ball bouncing around. Baldwin getting a foot on it. Baldwin, one of 4 seniors on this, being honored tonight on this Mount roster. Nakarado tried to get it to Hansen. That ball bouncing around. Playing that off a bounce for Maritime is Eva Garcia. Now, Bob, you were saying Eva Garcia far and away leads this Maritime team with goals with 11.
Yeah, 11 goals in 10 games is pretty impressive. So obviously a bona fide taliswoman. The white and blue of the Knights is going to have to be careful of her poaching ability today.
And if you're able to have anybody on your team averaging more than a goal a game, that is awesome, as Hansen catches up to it. Also there is Stephanie DeMann. That ball's still bouncing around. So after a bit of confusion, we have determined that the usual number 6 has traded in horse 6 for number 16 tonight. After some commiserating, figuring out Bob and I had just making sure Bob and I weren't going crazy, as Garcia tries to swing that one towards the middle. There for the Knights is De Leon Portillo. She'll work it up ahead for Schotter. That one just out of Schotter's reach. Getting a foot on it for the Privateers is Williams. Williams now works it up. She's picked up by fellow number 20, Faith Welsh. Welsh guarding Williams on the outside of the box. Williams tried to get it around her. Does so. Welsh with a step. Nacarado is there. That ball knocked out of play behind the end line. And Bob will have our first corner kick of the contest.
Exciting stuff here is there's been a pretty, I would not say fast start, but not a slow start to the match. Just some jockeying back and forth, trying to see what wandering through balls he can find through the central and wide channels. So right-footed in-swinger off the captain's armband. See where this ball will land.
So the Privateers, only 3 players outside of the goalie box. The rest in the vicinity. This kick, low line drive, getting a head on it is Welsh. That ball takes a friendly bounce from Mount St. Mary. Nacarado gets a foot on it. She'll start pushing it right to left. There in defense for Maritime is Madeline Powers. Nacarado working on Powers. Now she stops, swings it back downfield for Welsh. Welsh, good spin move. Welsh will continue to work it back, leaves it for Baldwin. Baldwin back up to Welsh. Welsh now takes off, has the midfield line in her sight, now past midfield. Welsh up along the far sideline, now cuts back towards the middle. Thought about it, stops, will try and get it to Mahali. Mahali off the foot, lefts it for Tanko. Tanko working it back towards the middle. Giving chase for Maritime is Lacey Barrich. That ball still bouncing around. Getting a foot on it is Barone. Barone working in a deep shot, or leaves it for Tanko. Tanko towards the middle, thought about it. We'll leave it now for Milburn. Milburn back for Mahali. Mahali works it back towards the top of the box, works it inside, gets a shot off. That one will go out of play, out of reach of the diving Quintero. The referees will say Quintero did not get a hand on it. This will be a goal kick coming for the Privateers. Ava Morrill, I believe, to take the free kick. The senior from New Windsor, New York. Went to high school at Newburgh Free Academy, so this is a homecoming game of sorts.
So she's familiar with
for
the area
Morrill.
for certain.
As Morrill will leave it for Powers. Powers guarded by Hansen. Hansen takes her lunch money, will leave it back for Schotter. Schotter swings that towards the middle of the field. Getting a foot on it is Stanko. Tanko thought about it, swings it for Mahali. Mahali, Barone on a cut. Powers on defense. That ball still loose in front. Quintero fields the ground ball. Milburn right there with the pressure from Mount St. Mary. So for the first time today, Estella Quintero picks up the ball. She'll have a goal kick whenever she so pleases. Quintero will send it away. That'll land on our side of midfield. Take a bounce, heading towards the Knights bench. Getting a foot on it is De Leon Portillo. The referees see that goes out of play right in front of the Knights bench. They award possession to the Privateers. On the throw-in is Nicole Mejia, number 6 turned 16, at least for tonight. That ball thrown right at Hansen. Hansen wears that off the chest, falls at her feet. Now she cuts towards the middle of the field. Swings it for Tanko, just outside the midfield circle, who leaves it for Mahali. Mahali waltzes it back in, now leaves it upfield. Here's Schotter with room to work. Schotter, Morrill in the area. Schotter one-on-one, stops, fires, sends one right at Quintero. So an early shot on goal for Mount St. Mary, Bob.
Very, very wonderful looking ball there for Mahali. Chipped one right over the shoulder of the wandering center back. So that, I think, is going to get booted straight out of play.
It's Quintero's kick out of the reach of Powers.
Schotter couldn't quite get the power she wanted, but she got the placement. Quintero fit to the challenge.
And just under 7 minutes into the contest.
I thought that was coming to us.
There was a few, Bob. You missed it on Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time tuning into the broadcast, Bob and I have a running joke / secret aspiration that a ball will leave the field of play far enough, as Morrill knocks that one out of play off the foot of Hansen. Bob and I have a dream that one day a soccer ball will leave the field of play and land in the broadcast booth, and then that Bob and I will have our own highlight reel moment commentating our own catch. There was a few close calls on Saturday. Unfortunately, nothing yet. But, Bob, we're on borrowed time now. One more women's game, which we're doing tonight, as Mahali on the corner kick raises her arm. The Knights crash hard. Mahali sends it away. Lone line drive. Leaping effort for Tanko. She did get a head on it, but that one will go up and over on top of the cage. But, Bob, we have the rest of this game and then a men's game about a week and a half from now against St. Joe's Brooklyn. We got to figure it out, man.
We really do. Or the squads need to figure it out. They need to get us one.
As Morrill thought about it, now kicks. Tried to get that one up ahead. Getting a foot on it are the Privateers, but Welsh right there on defense. Welsh will leave it for Mahali, who tried to get that one across for Tanko on the outside of the box. That ball's still bouncing around. It's Welsh. Welsh has Mahali in the middle. She'll try and work it inside. There was Hansen. Getting a foot on it there is Divine Awoleke. That ball's still bouncing around. Barone now makes a play. Barone works it inside. Barone picked up briefly by Garcia. That ball's still bouncing around in front, getting a foot on it. Now it's Nacarado. Nacarado will leave it for Welsh. Welsh thought about it, sets, fires, and scores! Hook, line, and sinker for Faith Welsh, and it's an early 1-0 lead for the Mount.
Wonderfully led ball there. Finds it on her right foot. Sets her feet. Sees the press is off, and she lets it eat.
And in a big game for the Knights' playoff aspirations, you can't ask for a much better start than that. Just, let's see, can I do math? Just under the 10-minute mark, the Knights take a 1-0 lead.
9 minutes and 21 seconds.
9 minutes and 21 seconds. I was there. I was going to get there eventually. As now Garcia works it upfield, sends it across the field. Getting a foot on it is DeLeon Portillo. Now here's Mahali. Mahali will swing it for Tanko. The Knights looking for some insurance already. Tanko cuts towards the middle of the field, try to get it to Shotter. Good defense there from Powers, getting a foot on it. That ball continuing to bounce around, trying to make a play on it is Williams. That ball still bouncing around. Now it's Mahali. She fires just wide.
Mahali always keen to shoot those. Almost had one on senior day here.
So the Knights come out swinging early. A goal followed almost immediately by another shot on target. The Knights wasting no time. Surely they realize the gravity of this game. I mean, this is an extremely important 3 points.
It certainly is. Your last home match of the year. I mean, you got to win it, right?
Yeah, frankly, we cannot be stated enough how badly the Knights would need a win for the playoff picture on both men's and women's sides. The men's playing a big game tomorrow, I believe also against Maritime. That game just on the road. As Hansen ball trickles towards the net. Merchant Marine. Oh, sorry.
I think.
Merchant Marine and Maritime.
No, wait. It is Maritime.
It is
no, you were totally right.
Okay, it is.
Because we 100% commentated a Merchant Marine game that ended in a 1-1 draw.
Right.
I just had that completely lost.
Shotter, nice first touch, left it for Hansen. Hansen has a little trouble with it. Now playing it off of bounce is Powers. Powers gets across midfield, shoots it up. Baldwin wears that one off the side of her leg, able to get it to Nacarado. Nacarado for Shotter. Shotter, good first touch. He's able to work around the defense. Shotter now leaves it for Barone along the near sideline. Barone giving chase in pursuit is Mejia. Barone will win that foot race. That pass off the side of her foot. Probably didn't hit that one as hard as she'd have liked. Knocking that out of play is Rashay Gibson, providing some insurance for Maritime.
Definitely hard to get that hard-driven cross and you come off with such a heavy run there. So unfortunate there, but the Knights will try and reset.
Shotter's throw-in, tried to get it to Hansen. Off the foot of Hansen, out of play behind the end line. It'll be another goal kick for the Privateers.
As soon as I said that, we put it straight out of play. But I'm getting reacclimated.
So here's Morrill on the goal kick now for the Privateers. Waiting for her teammates to get set. Arm raised, ball coming. Low line drive right around the border of the attacking third. Nacarado takes a hit and a fall. No whistle. On we play. Swinging it upfield, Daniela Jimenez. That ball taken away by Faith Welsh. Welsh guarding Hannah Crown. Now she stops on a dime. Crown works her way downfield. Welsh still with the ball. Has that one taken away. Now here come the Privateers. It's Divine Awoleke working with the ball. Lost it. Welsh, Crown, and Awoleke have a tussle for it. It'll be the Knights coming away with it. Mahali swings it for Tanko. Tanko will leave it back for Mahali. Shotter has a step on Powers. Tanko saw it. Couldn't quite get the pass off. Hit a Maritime Privateer in front. That ball bounces around. It'll trickle towards that back corner flag. It'll be out of play. The referees say it'll stick with the Knights. Faith Welsh on the throw-in, and the Knights deep in their own end, Bob. Deep in the Privateers' end.
Same day, different day, same story here. The Knights continue to press on. The Privateers not a phenomenal defensive squad. They do let in quite a few goals per game, so it seems to be the Knights are taking advantage of that as we move past the first 10 minutes of the game.
Good job there from Shotter to catch up to that ball. Shotter leaves it for Barone. Hansen takes a trip. No penalty somehow. Shotter now fires. Getting a hand on it is Quintero. But the Privateers dodge a bullet. Caitlin Hansen tripped up inside the goalie box.
Close call there.
Had the referees opted to pull the whistle out of the pocket. And, Bob, I do think they had a case. It could Maritime catching a break.
Definitely looked like some boots got tangled up there. Definitely got partially away with something. Of course, we don't have replay review at Division III soccer, so They're only God and the defender know what happened there.
Second corner kick of the contest from Mahali. This one from the opposite end, getting a head on his hands, and that ball still bouncing around in front, and it's in! A sea of Knights out in front. The loose ball tapped in by one of many people in the vicinity. Either way, Bob, it is 2-0 Mount St. Mary.
2-0 Mount St. Mary. I think Tanko claiming that goal there, so that'll be the seniors' 5th of the year, I believe. 5th of the year, there we go. I have my stat sheet in front of me. So seniors are already getting active here on senior night. Great stuff there.
And the senior Montana product, of course, picking up a goal here on senior night.
We'll await the official announcement.
Whistle blown, ball kicked away, and Maritime already fighting an uphill battle just over 12 minutes into the game. So, Bob, you have much better eyes than I do. Tanko officially gets credited with the goal. She'll swing it back towards the middle, just out of reach of Hansen. Giving chase is Barone. Also there is Mejia for Maritime. Mejia will just work it out of bounds.
So Maritime already looking to be on their heels here early. Hardly 15 minutes gone. Knights are up 2-0. Definitely quite a hill to climb.
Gibson able to knock that one out of play, but this Knights offense just relentless. Milburn swings it back for Barone, back to Milburn. Milburn walks it in, sends that one towards the middle, getting a foot on it for the Privateers is Williams. That ball hammered from way outside, ends up just to the left of the net. So either way, Bob, this Knights offense just not letting up. 6 shots on goal already.
Man, oh man, 6. That is a lot within 15 minutes. The offense firing on all cylinders.
So this offense for the Knights wasting no time. And again, a really important game as Morrill arm up, kick sent away. Hansen played that perfectly, wears that off the top of her head. Gibson also getting a head on it, able to find one of her teammates. That ball swung upfield, left for Garcia. Garcia lost it. Garcia now has that ball at her feet. Now it's officially taken away by Welsh. Welsh now moving in the right direction. Welsh will leave it now for Milburn. Milburn across from Mahali. Beautiful pass up ahead. Hansen in the area. She can't quite catch up to it. Quintero wraps it up just before Hansen was able to get it. But either way, Bob, again, this Knights offense still firing on all cylinders and no answer yet from the Privateers.
Privateers definitely looking a little bit lost here. The Knights just letting it eat from anywhere on the pitch. The linesman did call an offside to this flag, though. The offside was not awarded, so I don't know what was up with that.
Now Barone towing the sideline, stops on a dime, swings it for Hansen. Hansen pushes it upfield for Milburn. Milburn, nice first touch, but good defense there from Morrill to send that back downfield. Morrill now leaves it for Baldwin. Baldwin has a little trouble with it. That ball's kicked right back to her. Does a little bit of juggling, will flick it downfield, towing the sideline, ends up out of play. Throw-in coming now for the Privateers. Thought about it, now firing it in is Mejia. That ball right off the chest of Hansen. Hansen lets it fall to her feet, now makes a move. Swings it back towards the middle, leaves it for Tanko. Tanko now gets it to Schotter. Schotter up ahead, off the leg of Milburn. Right idea, that ball still bouncing around, and another one out of play right behind the end line. So, Bob, even for these shots that aren't particularly close to the net, the Knights have done an incredible job just constantly knocking at the door.
Of course, you got to keep maintain pressure when you're being given the opportunity. So the Knights are definitely taking advantage of it, and they're making the best of it. Should be some sort of interesting set piece here. Got a lot of white jerseys on the outer edge of the box. Going to have a lot of late runs coming in all at once.
Mahali fires. The Knights scored on the recent corner kick. We'll see if they can copy that. Leaping effort from Welsh goes off the side of her head and out of play. Another goal kick coming for Quintero. But, Bob, like unwanted solicitors, the Knights right now just always on the doorstep.
One of the solicitors. Squatters not welcome. Knights pouring it on early. Man, Mahali has a leg, doesn't she? Dear Lord.
And Bob, I mean, you and I have done
hammered that one.
Now a full season's worth of home games, and every single game, Coach Dolan trusts Mahali to shoot from anywhere, and for the most part, she's made good on it.
100%. I mean, when you got a howitzer for a right foot, might as well let it eat.
As DeLeon Portillo swings it back towards the middle of the field, leaves it for Baldwin. Baldwin now sends that one the right direction, over the head of Milburn. And Quintero, all alone, will wrap it up and send it back deep. Thought about it, juggling the ball a little bit. Now drop kicks it, sends it away. That one will take a bounce well before midfield line. Getting a foot on it is Crown. That ball still bouncing around, managed to be taken away by Tanko. Now playing catch-up is Williams. Williams falls, just trying to keep it in play. And she's able to poke it out of play along the far sideline. Another throw-in now from Mount St. Mary. It'll be Welsh doing the honors, just a couple feet to the right of the corner flag. Welsh thought about it, sizes it up, waits for the open woman. Now swings it. Tried to get it to Tanko. Good play off one hop from Tanko. Tanko guarded tightly. She'll swing it back for Welsh. Welsh tried to get it towards the middle. That one hits somebody. It'll be out of play behind the end line.
Call them little corner kicks. We'll move into our fourth one of the half already. The Knights just pouring it on. As I sound like a broken record, but they're just not letting up.
So interestingly enough, the Knights have had 4 corner kicks, and they've just each been in the opposite direction. It's gone from close to far, back to close, back to far, and the Knights in that far corner are 1 for 1. So we'll see if Mahali's able to do it again. We know Dolan trusts her. Mahali sends it in deep. Leaping effort from Hansen. That ball takes a privateer-friendly bounce. Trying to get a foot on it is Awaleke. That ball's still bouncing around. Barone sizes it up, has room, tries to work it inside. Knocked down immediately in front by a privateer. That ball, good move. Shot her there on help defense. Able to block that pass out of play before anything too serious came up on it. That's an offensive effort from Daniela Jimenez. That ball fired, still in play somehow, off Powers. That one stays in play. And the referees do notice the handball. The whistle is blown.
I saw it through the golf cart.
Nicely done.
We do have a little bit of an obstructed view at times, but
we make do.
Every now and again, a blind squirrel finds a net every now and again.
As Baldwin now sets, fires that one. It's an impressive kick,
nuke.
giving chase Milburn. That ball still loose in front. Good job from Morrill to clear it. The goalkeeper still down and the whistle blown.
Oh, no.
And a scary collision inside the privateer goalie box.
I think Milburn caught some piece of Quintero, and she took a swing at that. Seems to be she's up on her own will, amongst her own powers. That's good to see. We have certainly seen some scary goalkeeper injuries, so never want to see those.
So Quintero up and moving. The referee comes and performs the appropriate measures, determined that she's okay to stay in the game. Always good news.
Presume they'll give her a breather and give a drop ball.
That does appear to be the call. Obviously, you have to blow the whistle in that situation. That's irrefutable. Yeah. But I mean, that was a perfect chance from Mahali. I mean, obviously the drop is where that possession left off. So it is a drop ball. Mahali will play it off the drop, works it to her right now, fires that ball off the foot of Hansen, still loose in front. Hansen looking for a second chance, and Quintero able to fall on it. But a beautiful play drawn up there. Mahali gets it in deep, and Caitlin Hansen gets a really good shot off. Just a nice stop from Quintero.
A pretty ball clipped in there. Hansen almost caught a beauty off the one time.
And in a game, the Knights already lead by a pair. As that one gets behind Powers, Barone will let it go out of play. In a game, the Knights already lead 2-0. It's clear they are not shying away from the third one. 9 shots on goal, and Bob, we're still not even 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, get them all you can, right?
That one's fired in by Barone. Schotter able to play it off a bounce. That one ends up just out of her reach. Marl sends it deep. Baldwin off the head. We'll leave it for Nacarado. Nacarado forced to play catch-up, but she's able to run it down, operating out of the midfield circle. Good poke check there from Daniela Jimenez. That ball still bouncing around. Barone wraps it up. Barone swings it for Hansen, who will leave it back for Barone. Barone towing the near sideline. Stops. Now starts again. We'll swing it up ahead for Milburn. Milburn guarded by Marl. Leaves it down. Thought about it. Now we'll swing it towards the middle. Nobody home. That one takes a friendly bounce. Williams getting a foot on it. Hansen there harassing Mejia. Unfortunately unable to take it away. Now here's Mahali putting a move on. Works it towards the middle. Stops. Will now swing it for Welsh. Welsh inside the goalie box. Can she catch up? Yes. Welsh fires. Stop from Quintero. That ball's still bouncing around. Schotter getting a foot on it. The Knights have a second chance. Mahali fires. And she scores!
Beauty there. Mahali found herself with an opportunity. She let it rip. She found the back of the net.
So Faith Welsh fires. That ball gets stopped, but the Privateers unable to contain it. The Knights knock down the loose ball. Leave it for Mahali. And Bob, we were just talking about her on the broadcast. She certainly has a leg to shoot from anywhere, and we saw it just then.
Certainly did. A little over 20 out. Finds the ball up and over the reaching arms of Quintero. Gets herself a goal. 3rd of the season. 2nd senior to score tonight. It's good stuff.
And so the Privateers continue to take on water. The lead now 3-0. The Knights, of course, having 10 shots on goal now with that Mahali shot going in. And so as of right now, Bob, the Knights are averaging a shot on goal every 2 minutes.
10 shots is certainly a whole lot to be unleashing there in 20 minutes of play. So yeah.
Well, I mean, and Bob, you and I have commented games this year, both men's and women's alike, where there haven't been a combined 10 shots on goal in a game, as the Knights a little overzealous in pursuit of the 4th. They'll get busted for offsides. But I mean, you surely have to feel good about this offensive start, because as we said, I mean, you and I have done plenty of games where offense, even shots on goal, have been at a premium.
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you have a strong offensive team that doesn't always find their flow, and you do find those weeks where you just go out there and you're putting up 3 goals in 20 minutes, I mean, that definitely feels like a breath of fresh air and just a really good feeling, especially on senior night where 2 of your 4 seniors already have goals. I mean, nothing but good things looking forward to the second half.
A Shotter swings it upfield, giving chases Barone. And Bob, I mean, how good is that for a Knights team that has dropped 3 straight conference games? Obviously, this game far from over. We still have almost exactly an hour to play. But, I mean, a 3-goal lead. There are worse positions to be in.
Most certainly, and the Lady Knights fighting their butts off, tooth and nail, to try and find that last playoff spot. Find as many as you can, because I think last year they lost the last playoff spot to a tiebreaker. So if goal difference does come into play, they want to be as high as they can on that plus chart.
And the Knights, I mean, if you want to talk about goal differential, I mean, obviously, Bob, we can throw it back to that game against Yeshiva where your Mount St. Mary Knights won 20-0.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
As Hansen wears it off the top of the head, Mahali will play it off a bounce. She already has one. Tried to get it in deep to Hansen. That hits somebody in front. Playing it off a bounce is Garcia. Welsh guarding Crown on the far side. Crown able to get around her, but loses the ball. Welsh to throw it in, wasting no time. That is a good throw up ahead. Tanko tried to play catch-up, couldn't quite. But either way, it goes out of play. Last touched by a Privateer. And another throw-in from the attacking third from Mount St. Mary.
And currently, as it stands, the Knights are plus 10 on their goal difference on the year, so it can only get better from there.
Yeah, it can only go up.
Good spot to be in going towards the latter half of this season. I don't know how many conference games are quite left.
I believe it is 2.
That would make enough sense.
Assuming they operate on somewhat the same schedule as the men's team does, as here comes Maritime left to right. Swinging it is Awaleke. Working it now is Barish. Barish tried to get it towards the middle. Powers plays it off a bounce. Juggles with it a little bit. She's guarded tightly by Barone. That ball stopped by Shotter. Shotter puts the moves on Powers. Now Shotter turns it upfield because the men's team wraps up, or they play Maritime at Maritime tomorrow. Here's Tanko with steam. Tanko gets it inside to Shotter. Shotter works, fires off the hands of Quintero, knocked away. So the Knights this close to their 4th goal of the contest, but Estela Quintero turns that one aside, and we'll stay where we are.
Shotter with herself, getting herself another shot on goal. Second one saved by Quintero, so the girls got to be due eventually, though. We'll get ourselves another corner kick. Seems to be coming off the right foot of Hansen this time.
And while we have a bit of a lull, I'm finally going to be able to finish that thought. The Knights play Maritime at Maritime tomorrow, the men's Knights team. And then they finish the season at St. Joseph's Brooklyn, which is the last game of the year that you and I will do. As that ball's still bouncing around, it goes across the box. Welsh got a foot on it. That ball somehow stays in play. Trying to clear it is Powers. She does so for the time being. Bob, you and I are banking on the ability to do a playoff game. As that one's fired, and it goes through the 5-hole and in. Caitlin Shotter from way outside. Sends a knock on the door, beats Quintero again through the 5-hole, and it is now 4-0.
Scored that one from Lindenhurst, her hometown, man. She let that one eat. She found the back of the net. I told you that she was due.
And the Knights just continue to rock and roll, 4-0 already. And now that we for real have a lull, I mean, the men wrap up the season against St. Joseph's Brooklyn. That game is here. I believe it is the 29th. Fingers crossed we get to do a playoff game.
That'll be some exciting stuff.
But that game, the 29th, is the last game you and I are guaranteed to get to do. So I assume the women will finish up against St. Joe's Brooklyn around the same time.
Hopefully our athletics department can bless up and get us on the road if we end up with a road playoff game.
First things first, hoping our men's and women's teams officially punch their ticket.
Of course. Yeah,
they're both
do that first.
They're both in the playoff picture. Nothing but the best of luck, obviously, to both parties. It's the whistle blown. Baldwin will send the free kick. That ball had some muscle on it. Goes right off the top of the head of Morrow. That ball's still bouncing around. Welsh gets a foot on it, sends it back inside. Continuing to bounce around, giving chases Hansen. Hansen able to catch up to it. Guarded tightly by Mejia just outside the box. Hansen will pick her battles. Lets that one go out of play. Free kick now coming. Throw-in now coming for the Privateers. As the Knights make a couple of personnel changes into the contest, Kellyanne Moran and Evie Dowd. Here's Mahali. Mahali, she's guarded by Powers. Trying to work her way around. Tried to stop. Couldn't. Now, either way, will go out of play. Last touched by Powers. And it will be a throw-in. This one coming out of the hands of Kellyanne Moran. That ball taking a bounce. Hansen gets a head on it. Works it towards the middle. Thought about it. Gets almost a shot off. That one ends up well just to the wide of the net, but Hansen, of course, just knocking on the door.
Can't hurt to let one rip when you're up 4 goals.
So another goal kick coming. This one, again, it'll be Marl doing the honors. And Madeline Powers, the senior from Atlantic Beach, New York. I mean, Powers, that's got to be a fun last name to have.
Powers?
Yeah, I mean, there's
It's like the namesake Chad Powers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of famous Powers in media. You got Austin Powers,
Love
Kenny
Austin
Powers,
Powers.
Chad Powers.
Brilliant. And, you know, I was thinking
So Madeline Powers is some pretty elite company.
very elite company. Some of the best to ever do it.
As that one ends up out of play, the referees will say this was last touched by Mejia. It'll be another corner kick for Hansen. The Knights getting in the appropriate formation, already up 4, but if you're looking for a playoff spot, and Bob, as you mentioned, the playoff tiebreaker being goal differential, I would expect the Knights to just get as many as they can here.
I mean, might as well. It's
Hansen rifles that one in deep, leaping effort from multiple parties, hits somebody. It will take a friendly bounce for the Privateers, trickle out of play behind the end line. And now a goal kick again. Marl to do the honors.
It's either head-to-head matchups or it would be goal differential, so I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, either way, it can't hurt to score as many goals as you can.
Of course.
As that ball played on first touch by Crown. In there on defense is Tanko. Loose ball will be recovered by Welsh. Welsh tried to get it to Tanko, just out of her reach. Tanko, good job to catch up to it. And Lily Tanko, as physical as ever, able to win that battle, will swing it now for Tondini.
I wonder if the broadcast can hear the men's soccer team that are in attendance going crazy on the sideline on the far end of the field.
So some physical offense from Tanko draws the cheers of the men's team, deservedly so. Tanko never afraid to put a body on someone. As De Leon Portillo will swing it for Dowd. Dowd for Tondini. Tondini has a little trouble with that pass. Dowd runs it down. Good communication. De Leon Portillo steps up. Moran now makes a move. Will swing it back to De Leon Portillo, who swings it back to Moran. Moran right in front of the scorer's table. Tried to get it to Dowd, just out of the reach of Dowd. Here's Tondini, thought about it. She'll swing it across the field. Welsh takes a couple steps. She'll pick up that pass. Now Welsh with speed. She'll make a move. She worked it into the attacking third. Puts it up ahead. Hansen off her foot. Hansen will leave it for Tanko. Tanko fires. She scores! Lily Tanko second to the contest. And Bob, it's 5-0.
Man, as cool as you'd like, bagging in the back of the net. One of the leading taliswomen of this squad, Lily Tanko, with yet another one tonight on senior night. As I've said about 20 times, Hansen left it on the doorstep. Tanko hammered it home. You got to love it. 5-0.
So the Knights offense right now like a hot knife through butter. 5-0 on 13 shots on goal, and there's still 17:47 to play here in the first half.
Going to be a long one.
This is a good kind of long one, though.
Oh, of course. Our last one of the year. Might as well, right?
Hansen will swing it for Milburn. Milburn leaves it for Mahali. Mahali tried to make a move, pivots, will swing it for Dowd. Dowd along the near sideline. Here's Moran. Moran picked up by Powers. She'll swing it back towards the middle. Hansen gets a foot on it, leaves it for Tondini. Tondini all the way across the field, getting a foot on it. Schotter. Schotter pokes it back inside. Mahali makes a move, will swing it right into the body of Morrill. That ball's still bouncing around. Morrill able to knock it down. Welsh now. Still bouncing around. Tanko able to secure the loose ball. Tanko will leave it for Welsh. Welsh now cuts inside. She's got room to work. Sends that one towards the middle. Quintero knocks it down. And able to fall on it right there in the area was Milburn. But either way, the Privateers able to keep that one out of the back of the net. Still 5-0. And now, I mean, if you're the Privateers, 5-0 is quite an uphill battle. But, I mean, as of right now, they frankly just haven't gotten anything going. It's Mejia giving chase. Also in the vicinity is Awaleke. Bob, didn't mean to cut you off there.
He didn't have a whole lot to say. It's I don't even know if it's getting yourself off the mat at this point. I think it's just finding one and playing for pride at this rate. Down 5-0, it's not a great spot to be in, but you're on the road. Might as well just go find what works and get yourself one to take home.
A very wise man at some point throughout history once said, it starts with one. And if you're the Privateers, I mean, frankly, that's a mentality you have to have. Is that's a beautiful cross-field pass picked up by Moran. Moran works it back towards the middle. Milburn there. She'll play it off the chest. Now plays it off a bounce. Marl there on defense for the Privateers. Awaleke tried to get it out, guarded by De Leon Portillo. She'll leave it for Powers. Powers is up, kick up ahead. Will land just outside the midfield line. Awaleke guarded tightly by Moran. Now she'll swing her way around. Gets it towards the middle. Trying to get a foot on it is Barrich. She can't. That ball continuing to bounce around. Now Milburn will swing it for Baldwin. Baldwin all the way upfield. A change of scenery for Maria Baldwin, usually on defense for the Mount. She works herself deep into Privateer territory as that ball goes all the way back deep for Welsh. Welsh will leave it for Awashko. And Awashko, who has had a pretty smooth go of things, sends that one right back upfield. Mahali right around the midfield line, now works it into the midfield circle, drawing some applause from the men's team. Making a stop is Dowd, turning the other direction. Dowd now swings it for Moran. Moran, plenty of room to work, powers there in pursuit. Moran senses the danger, swings it up ahead, just out of the reach of Hansen. Hansen, can't she keep it in play? She'll peel off at the last second. It'll go out of play untouched. As an abundance of subs now for the Knights. Sophia Light, Angelina Robinson, Rosalia Fornino, and Christiana Mackey. So the Knights up 5, under 15 minutes to play. They have certainly earned the right to make a personnel change, as Mahali, Hansen, Milburn, and Tanko will come off. So the Knights make a line change, as sending that one away is Marl. Tondini played it off a bounce, couldn't quite corral it. The Privateers flick it upfield. There is Baldwin. Plenty of time to get a kickoff. She'll send it straight ahead, right through the midfield circle. Dowd defended there by Mejia. Mejia got a foot on it. Here's Awaleke. She'll leave it, tried to leave it for Mejia. A little miscommunication there. Mejia was out of the area. Good move there from Barrich. Barrich swings it across. That pass taken away by Welsh. Welsh swings it up ahead in the area. Light will win that battle. Leaves her defender in the dust on the ground in a literal sense. Mackey will swing it across. Now Dowd just outside the midfield circle. Works that one towards the middle. Almost passed it to herself. Couldn't quite catch up to it. De Leon Portillo now just outside the midfield circle. Stops, turns around, changes direction, leaves it for Baldwin. Baldwin back through the midfield circle. Here's Tondini. Tondini all the way across, gets it to Welsh. Welsh now stops, sets up, fires, passes it up ahead. Up along the far sideline for Nino. Nino tried to get it inside. The referee waving a flag for one reason or another, but play is not stopped as Welsh works it around the end line. Tried to get it to Fernino in the middle. That one just over her head. It'll go out of play, untouched across the field. Throw in coming for the Privateers.
I don't know what the flag was there, what the flag was doing over there, but seemed to be a little bit of a misfire.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I mean, obviously the line judge along the far side is waving the flag for some reason, maybe to get somebody's attention, who knows. But either way, play wasn't stopped. So
might have made a call that the main official did not fully register.
As now Awaleke tried to push it upfield. That one taken away by Tondini. Tondini will leave it for Light, who leaves it right back for Mackey. Mackey sets up, makes a move, nice move. Works it further inside, picked up by Mejia. Mejia on the poke check. The Privateers have to clear it. Good move there from Garcia just to get that ball out of there. And now here come the Privateers pushing it the right direction. Losing it is Garcia. That ball continuing to bounce around. And now here's Tondini. Tondini makes a move, works around Crown. Will swing it for Robinson. Robinson along the far sideline. She's picked up by Williams. Robinson falls. Williams on the takeaway, picked up by Tondini. That ball swung all the way across, giving chase Awaleke. She's guarded by Baldwin. Baldwin takes that away without much trouble. She'll leave it for Awashko. Awashko won't pick it up. Thought about it. Now swings it back for Baldwin. Baldwin working up along the far sideline. Swings it across. Gets it to Tondini. Tondini stops, ponders, makes a move. Will swing it for Robinson. Robinson cuts back towards the middle of the field now. Robinson with a couple of steps. She'll go. That tried to get that one up ahead for Light. Light stops on a dime. Can't catch up to that one. It was blocked. That one will go out of play. The referees will say this one goes the way of the Knights.
So run of play, slow down just a little bit here. 10 minutes left. Not a whole lot you need to do when you're up 5, Lucas.
So the Knights just doing some maintenance work already. As you mentioned, Bob, already up 5, 14 shots on goal. As that one throw-in goes off the head of Welsh, playing it as Barrich. Barrich swings it up ahead, taken away again by Welsh. Welsh now with speed, thought about it, gets it to Light. Light has a little trouble with that one, goes off her foot further downfield. Therefore, Maritime is Marl. She will let it go out of play. Here's Muriel now. Just waltzing it to very corner of that interior goalie box. Muriel, of course, doing a lot of the goal kicking today for the Privateers. Muriel fires that one off a bounce. Leaping effort from Welsh. Welsh can't quite catch up to it. Now here's the Privateers with a step. Baldwin there on help defense. Welsh now catches up, stopping on a dime. Now working it back towards the middle, firing across. Mejia in the area, going off the foot of Dowd. Mackey there on the help defense. Dowd will swing it for Fernino. Fernino now turning and burning upfield. Threading the needle between two privateer defenders. Sophia Light in the area for the mount. Can't quite catch up to that one. That one just kicked out of play as a precaution by Gibson. So Fernino will have a throw-in on a pretty favorable spot on the field for the Knights. Fernino will leave it for Moran.
Some screaming from the quad across the way. I don't know who that was.
Yeah, so something really interesting is happening across campus right now.
Must be, wow.
What it is beats me. As Mackey leaves it for Moran. Moran tried to pass it up ahead for Fernino. That one well out of her reach. Morrill will just try to escort it out of bounds. Quintero comes in, picks it up.
Is the voting ballots out for Dancing with the Stars? Is that a Tuesday thing? Maybe a huge TV watcher or something.
Bob, you're one of my best friends. That is completely out of my element. I don't think I have ever seen anything ever related to Dancing with the Stars.
Talk about that a lot.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be fun.
We have a few friends that are very interested in Dancing with the Stars within our major. So
that's got to be a good time, Dancing with the Stars.
I used to watch it all the time with my grandma when I was little. Very entertaining.
I mean, the thing is, whoever made me knew I would be too powerful as a person if I could dance. So I was born, unfortunately, with 2 left feet.
Oh, no.
Well, because I would have been way too powerful as I was able to dance.
Oh, of course.
I wish I could. As Moran works it up along the far side, near sideline, giving chases for Nino. Gibson will win that foot race. She'll just let it go all the way out of bounds. A whistle and some personnel changes now for the Privateers. Coming into the contest, number 14, Stephanie Demand. She comes on in relief of Divine Awaleke.
Divine is such a cool name. We were talking about that before the broadcast. That is a super cool name.
It is. No objections from me. And again, Bob, you and I are lucky to be able to do this. I mean, there are plenty of fun and interesting names. You and I have had plenty of memorable experiences on these broadcasts.
Oh, of course. We've gotten a lot of really good names this year.
Standini. Never forget Joki from one of the very first games we did.
The first game.
The very first game.
That was a whole lot of fun.
As Mackey stops on a dime, that's a nifty move. She tried to get it across the field for Robinson. That pass gets there. That's Welsh. Good job receiving that one.
Good pullback on that.
Welsh leaves it for Tondini. Tondini swings it for Fernino. Fernino back to Tondini. Dowd came and crashed hard. That pass almost for her. Moran tried to get it to Tondini. That pass just behind her, getting a foot on it, Morrill, but she can't clear it. Tondini getting a foot on it. Double teams by a couple of Privateers. Tondini guarded by Barrett. She'll swing it for Mackey. Mackey swinging a miss. So a bit of a miscue there as Demand on the takeaway. Demand and Welsh get tied up. Demand maintaining possession of the ball. Welsh steps up on defense. Demand forced to get rid of it, giving chase Baldwin. Baldwin alone, plenty of room to work. She'll swing it for Awashko. Awashko will not pick it up despite being face guarded by a Privateer. So Awashko unblinking in the face of the defense. Elects not to pick it up, and the Knights now operate right to left, gathering some applause from the men's sideline.
That is a rowdy bunch.
You love seeing teams on campus support other teams on campus.
Oh, it's a blast. It's a blast.
Especially on a campus as cozy as ours.
Good way to put it.
You got to find a good synonym for that. As Tondini thought about it, will now swing it up ahead for Robinson. Robinson has some room to work. Williams there on defense. Robinson now, good job keeping it in play. She'll hammer that one off of Williams. And the Knights do a good job drawing the corner kick, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Be dropping into the corner. I think one of my favorite highlights from last year when we were young sophomores and got to do whatever we felt like doing with no penalty was the entire baseball team coming out for the conference semifinals of the women's basketball game. That was a lot of fun. I don't think I'm allowed to say what we were directed to do in that game, but that was a really entertaining game.
The Kaplan Gymnasium was loud, and I got my 2 seconds of fame on ESPN.
You did. They featured you on SportsCenter.
I got to shamelessly ride the coattails of a ridiculous shot. As Moran sends it towards the middle, that one a little short. Light got a foot on it. She expects it to be another corner kick, and the referees agree. So nothing comes of that one. Nice play in the booth to keep my paper from flying away.
Immediate point from Light seemed to be a little bit of a K-pop move there. Some sort of form of new dance that me and Lucas are unaware of.
So Light called it how she saw it. The referees agree. Light throws a body on someone, falls to the ground, covering her face. We hope she's okay. The the referee calls for a stoppage of the clock.
Always dangerous business when people are snapping their heads for headers. Seems to be she might have collided with the defender. So she'll get looked at. She'll be required to be off the pitch for just a few moments here. So the Mountain will be playing down a woman for not too long.
The men's sideline in full force, clearly in the head of. So a rowdy bunch of fellows on that far sideline. That ball kicked away by Marill, an immediate foul.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
and the Knights Ultras go crazy.
I love this school, Lucas. I love these guys.
For as cozy as it is here, Bob, I mean the vibes are unmatched.
Certainly something.
As Baldwin sets fire, sends that one in deep. The Knights crash hard. That one will take a bounce right off the body of Marill. Marill just has to get it out. Sends it straight up. Baldwin in the area. She will be the first to get a body on it. There on defense is Garcia. Now Baldwin makes a nice move. Tried to send that one towards the middle. That one blocked in front. Baldwin somehow retains possession. Sends that one towards the middle. That's blocked again. Baldwin ends up with it for a third time. Fernino has it at her feet. She'll kick it away. And now here's Welsh. Welsh sizes it up. Will send it towards the far sideline, giving chase is Robinson. She'll be able to keep it in play. Nicely done there. Now here's Welsh. Welsh plays that one off her feet. Welsh cutting inside the box, works it along the end line, sends it towards the middle. Dowd in the area, giving chase now to try and keep it in play is Mackey. Mackey does catch up to it. She'll swing it for Moran. Nice pass there. Moran immediately tried to get it back in deep, getting a foot on it is Mejia. That ball still loose towards the top of the cage. Here's Dowd. Dowd lines up a shot right at Quintera. But Bob, it's been a while since the Knights scored their 5th goal. They smell blood in the water. They are certainly looking for even more insurance.
Definitely an exciting possession there with anticipation building with every touch by the Ultras that are letting themselves be heard here in the closing stages of the first half. Some dangerous crosses, a dangerous shot there, though no purchases made just yet.
Moran leaves it for Dowd. Dowd will work it now for Baldwin. Baldwin thought about it. Will now swing it across the field. In the area is Robinson. That pass positioned a little awkwardly for Robinson to be able to make the proper play on it. It'll go out of play. Throw in now for the Privateers. That ball swung in. Welsh getting a foot on it. Good job keeping that ball in play along the far sideline. Getting a foot on it is light. But the Knights unable to keep it in play, at least that time around. That ball thrown in a second time. Mackey gets a foot on it. She'll leave it for Welsh. Welsh up along the far sideline. Swings that one back across the field. Now here the Privateers on the ball, with the ball on the Knights side of the field for the first time in some time. Now here's Welsh with speed, able to keep that one in play. Tries to work it towards the middle, does. Welsh with speed, nobody able to take it away from her yet. Welsh leaves it for Light. Light, that pass a little bit behind her. Now here's Baldwin. Baldwin making a move. Nice play on the ball there from Maritime. That ball continuing to bounce around. Tondini getting a body on it. And good defense there from the Privateers. That ball swung back deep. Moran giving chase. She'll catch up to it, and she'll stop and swing it back upfield for Fernino. Fernino swings it back towards the middle, getting a foot on it. Dowd. Dowd gets it to Mackey. Mackey now past midfield. Fernino giving chase in the area also for the Privateers is Gibson. That one goes off the foot of Gibson, right out of play. Throw in coming for the Knights. If you're just now joining us, your score, Mount St. Mary 5, Maritime nothing. And as of right now, as per the statistics, the Knights are averaging a goal on every third shot, which is pretty good, as there's a whistle and a foul as Robinson falls. 2:15 to play here in the first half, and Bob, it has been an action-packed one, especially if you're a fan of the home team.
Certainly has, and the Knights are on pace to match last year's tally. They did win 10-0 last year here in Newburgh against Maritime. and they are on about the same pace as they usually are against Maritime. They average 6.5 goals a game against Maritime.
As Moran will have a free kick from outside the box, close enough to shoot if she wanted to, but the Knights appear poised to run a play. Whistle blown, the Knights crash the box hard. Moran sends it in deep. Getting a foot on it is light, and it's in!
Oh, no goal.
Oh!
Went off hand. Oh, tragic.
Oh. So it's Maria Baldwin able to getting the ball inside. All the machinations of a goal were there. And unfortunately, that one waved off.
So the highlighter shirt is not for the people. He's going to whistle that one. No goal in front of the home ultras as we will reset right here off the offside spot, just a foot or two off of the penalty shot.
So the referee's not always right, but they're never wrong as Marl sends that downfield. Moran able to play that one off a bounce. That pass picked off by Mejia. Mejia, that pass picked off by Moran. So the two pick each other's pockets. It's Moran ultimately coming over with the ball last. As Maritime had it for a split second, that pass turned over. Now here's Baldwin. Baldwin gets it to Tondini just outside the C in MSMC. Dowd stops the ball, makes a move, cuts back towards the middle, now passes. Here's Welsh. Welsh, she's picked up by Barrich. Welsh now making moves. Welsh works it inside, sends that one towards the middle. Baran giving chase. Can't get a body on it. That ball bouncing, still bouncing, out of play. I thought that ball was going to go out of play a lot sooner than it did.
Just hardly parallel with the line there. Got ushered all the way out.
Under a minute to play now. It has, again, been a very eventful first half. The Knights Ultras in full force for this free kick.
Oh.
Morrill directing traffic, sends it away. Getting a foot on it, Mejia. Both sides looking for one more before the break.
That's a lot of fun.
De Leon Portillo leaves it for Tondini. Tondini gets it to Baldwin. Baldwin operating just outside the midfield circle. Impressive pass up ahead. That's Light getting a foot on it. Light putting the moves on. Stops on a dime. Turns around. Swings it across the field for Welsh. Welsh now back for Light. Light up ahead giving chase Welsh. Giving chase also for Maritime is Williams. That one ends out of play. It'll go the way of the Knights. 10 seconds left to play in this first half. Welsh wastes no time throwing it in. Robinson tried making a move. The Privateers send that one downfield. Tondini there for Mount St. Mary. But Bob, that'll be what takes us into halftime here tonight. An incredibly impressive first half for Mount St. Mary. And for a team that's lost 3 games in a row, this is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, 16 shots, 8 corner kicks, 5 goals. I mean, that's a dominant first half. That's certainly a very lopsided first half. So not a lot of points to really touch on here for the Mount.
So frankly, ladies and gentlemen, no notes from that first half. I'm Lucas Stackpole, back in the booth with me tonight. Bob Hauk, thank you as always for joining us, and we will be back in 14 and a half minutes for the start of the second half.
Right on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to tonight's women's soccer broadcast. I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me, as usual, is Bob Hauk. And in a minute, we will bring you the second half of action between the Mount St. Mary Knights and the Maritime Privateers. And if I had to pick one word to describe the Knights' first half, it would just be dominant. The Knights currently lead 5-0, 5 goals to the tune of 16 shots on goal. And Bob, really, I mean, that's all there is to it. 5-0 at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that differs from me to you is that I thought of dominance instead of dominant, but it means the same thing. And yeah, I mean, 75 to 25% on possession, spent about, 82% in the attacking half there for the entire 45 minutes. So, I mean, the white and blue are definitely off and flying. Coach Dolan's got his girls drilled and ready for a second half of even more domination.
So in a game, the Knights absolutely had to show up and dominate, both for pride, coming off a 3-game losing streak, and to keep pace in the playoff race. A massive 3 points on the table tonight, and so far the Knights have taken every measure to go out and take those.
I mean, yeah, you've done everything you need to do, so you just got to shepherd in another clean 45 and get yourself into some warm clothes and enjoy your night in the dorm.
It is plenty cold out here. If you can see, Bob and I both in varsity jackets. But I think the telltale sign just of that first half, if I had to pick a statistic to summarize how the first half went, possession percentages for our stats people, they're approximated, but for the most part, they're pretty accurate. The Knights had the ball on the Privateer side of the field for 80% of the half.
I mean, it definitely felt like it. I believe that.
That for sure lines up. I mean, frankly, I was expecting that number to be higher. But the Knights, of course, just looking to continue that dominance from the first half. Coach Dolan has brought back out his starting 11. Lots of personnel changes to close out the first half. But Milburn sends it away, and Bob, it's time to party. Mahali sends that one in deep for Hansen. Hansen swings it across. Tanko is there. Tanko has 2 goals tonight. As that ball dribbles outside the top of the box, still rattling around. Now here's Mahali.
Mahali has herself a brace, as the Brits would say.
Mahali also 2 goals tonight. She swings it. Nacarado swings it for Milburn. That ball back for Nacarado. Nacarado, a little bit of room to operate, makes a move on Garcia. Waltzes that one in deep. Crossing pass. Diving on Escantero. That ball still loose. Welsh there to clean it up, and she scores. So, Bob, it took the Knights 30 seconds. But that's your first goal of the second half. And it is now 6-0 Mount St. Mary.
Well, speed's the game, right? Finds a loose ball, and she just hammers it up into the top of the nylon there. So found herself a cookie, and she ate all of it.
Any questions anybody had on if the Knights could keep that first half momentum? Had it answered 31 seconds into the first half.
Oh, my goodness. The Tesla behind us has a custom, lock noise, and it makes a duck quack whenever doors lock.
That's what that is.
I heard it go off again.
Yeah, I know, because we heard it at the beginning of the game. And I mean, I don't know, maybe I just haven't been to New York long enough, but there aren't many ducks on campus.
None.
There aren't ducks at all.
No.
not at least on campus.
Which is weird because we live on the water.
Right. You'd think we'd see ducks more often than we do. But anyway, as the Knights are going to get busted for offside here, you can imagine mine and Bob's surprise. I had come straight from baseball practice. Bob had come straight from the dorm. And usually we take about 15 minutes just to go over notes, prepare for the broadcast. And Bob and I are doing this as we have 1,000 times before. And you can imagine our surprise when there's a duck noise behind us. And it's
out in the Berg tonight.
Apparently.
Whole lot of Teslas in New York. I've noticed a rampant amount of Teslas out and about in the old 845.
You cannot let me get my hands on a Tesla with the custom soundboard those things have.
Dude, you know the fa sound effect? That would be my locking noise.
I would have the loudest car imaginable. you would know it's me from the next county over.
Oh my goodness.
As Schotter makes a move, thought about it, swings it for Milburn. Milburn back towards the middle of the field. Here's Nacarado. Nacarado stops on a dime. She'll swing it for Hansen. Hansen, nice first touch. That ball rattling around the box. Getting a foot on it is Marl. Sending it back in deep is Barone. That one goes off the head of a Privateer. Mahali lines one up, tries to get around. Can't. Has that one poke check. Still loose in front. Mahali somehow comes away with it. Leaves it for Milburn. Milburn gets a shot off just to the right of the net. So Isabella Milburn this close to joining the scoring party. That one ends up just to the right of the net, out of play. Instead of the 7th of the contest, It ends up just to the right. It'll be a goal kick now for Maritime.
Would have been a stunner. The ultras of the men's soccer team have moved to the home half now. So that's pretty entertaining. I appreciate that. Went to go talk to all the fellas at halftime. They seem fired up. They'll be traveling down to the island of the long nature tomorrow to play Maritime.
Tanko swings it across the field. That one wrapped up by Quintero.
Because Maritime's got a funky campus because they're just outside of Long Island. They just have their own little like mini island there right off the bridge that you take to get to it. It's very funky. They're right there on the water. They are about as isolated as it gets. I mean, it's like a miniature University of Hawaii. If Hawaii was actually Hawaii and Maritime do about the same thing because they're very heavy on marine biology.
Well, it's pretty nifty, at least for Maritime, because it is a small campus. It is tucked away, but it's tucked away right underneath that bridge. So there isn't, at least from the baseball field, we had the privilege of playing there last year. I mean, there isn't a bad view in the house.
No. Though our hitters did complain a lot that the sky is really hard to deal with there at Maritime because they have no batter's eye. Like, they have no backdrop, though I don't really play baseball.
Well, the thing is with Maritime baseball, too, is having such a limited amount of space to work with. The baseball field is a bandbox. Because that one ends up out of play.
I mean, that fence is, what, 270 to right field?
Something along those lines. It's pretty short.
Some nonsense there, though. I don't think we will be playing at the gorgeous facilities of Maritime this year, so they'll be having to come to the 845 of Newburgh.
Stay tuned for that when it happens 6 months from now. As Merrill fires it away, much to the delight of the Knights faithful, takes a bounce off the head of Hansen. There on defense is Milburn. Milburn makes a move. She'll cut around somebody. There's a foul, a whistle. It'll stick with the Knights.
The Ultras, they get the call. I'm having a blast listening to these guys. This is hilarious.
So the fans clearly with some influence over the referees here tonight.
So perchance the highlighters are highlighters of the people.
Mahali gets the whistle. She's certainly powerful enough to shoot. She'll just send this one in deep. Leaping effort. That one hits somebody in front. Still in the goalie box. The Privateers have to get it out. It's a foot race. Getting a foot on it is Tanko. That one will end up right around midfield. Nacarado will track it down for Mount St. Mary. In pursuit is Barrich. De Leon Portillo will leave it for Nacarado. Nacarado picked up by Powers. Gets that pass off for Welsh. Welsh has that one go off her foot. Mejia makes a play on it for Maritime. Now working it upfield is Eva Garcia. 11 goals on the season.
Man, oh man, that's crazy.
For the Privateers' leading scorer.
Well off and away is the leading and almost only scorer on Maritime's side.
As Mahali sends that one upfield, now here's Hansen with a step. She's onside. Morel there in transition. Hansen gets a shot off. It hits the crossbar. That ball stays in play. So Welsh will gather the rebound. Welsh outside the box. She'll send that one towards the middle. Tanko is in the area. Couldn't get a foot on it. So the Knights will reset, at least for now. At the very outer perimeter of the attacking third is Nacarado. Nacarado now works it in. She's guarded by Barrich. Nacarado sends that one towards the middle. Hansen was in the area. That pass a little behind her. So Mahali will track it down. The Knights still in their own attacking third, just not yet facing the net. Mahali will run it down, work it towards the corner, stop on a dime, now try to work it back towards the middle. Sends it across. Welsh is in the area. That ball takes a low bounce. Nobody able to get a body part on it yet. Tanko in pursuit. She runs down Barrich. That ball will go out of play. So an impressive defensive effort from Lily Tanko, just behind being able to keep that ball in play. It'll go out of play. Another goal kick. More chicanery from the Knights faithful out there on the far bench.
Oh, one of the many upsides of having a striker such as Tanko / winger she's playing right now. Her work rate is through the roof, and she presses anything and everything she sees.
Merle sends it away. Tanko, the woman of the hour, wears that one off the knee, takes a bounce straight behind her. The Knights are able to gather it. Here's Schotter operating out of the C in MSMC, now makes a move upfield. Mejia gets a foot on it for the Privateers. Powers gets a foot on it. That ball pinballing around. Nacarado able to knock it down. She'll swing it for Barone. Barone, good job just being able to catch up to that one. Leaves it for Welsh. That one swung right now inside for Schotter. Schotter room to work. She'll pass it upfield. Giving chase is Hansen. Hansen now at the step. Hansen fires. That one hits somebody in front. That ball deflects out of play off a Privateer. And so the Knights will have their 8th shot on goal. Either their 8th or their 9th. We're trying to determine if the scoreboard is waiting to update or has since been updated.
18th. I think this will be the 8th corner kick of the game.
Okay, so I was right the first time. Hansen, instead of sending it in deep, will just leave it along the near sideline for Nacarado. That ball takes a friendly bounce for the Privateers. The Knights able to come away with it regardless. Hansen fires. That one ends up behind the cage. Nothing doing. So Quintero will grab the loose ball from behind the end line, and surely she will leave it from Earl. and they've already started. The ball's not even where it needs to be yet.
More nonsensory from the passionate ultras of Mount St. Mary College.
Merrill sends it away.
The blue wall out in full force tonight.
It's Mahaly getting a foot on it. Tried to work her way around. Has that pass blocked. Quickly forced to regroup. Now here is Barone. Barone tried to get it to Milburn. That one bouncing around. It's Hansen. Good job gathering that pass. Hansen stops on a dime. Now turns around. Works it just outside the box. We'll send that one towards the middle. Shotter leaps. Can't get a head on it. Still bouncing around. Tanko tracks it down. She'll leave it for Nakarado outside the box. Nakarado sizes one up. Rifles that one. That will end up well to the left of the net. Out of play, right around the scoreboard.
And they're back to it. The blue wall of our men's team reminds me of the green wall of Farmingdale's volleyball team. I'll tell you, Lucas, those girls had to have been drilled. They had chants and hoots and hollers for everything that happened on every point. Literally everything.
The coordinated celebrations are the best ones, though.
Oh, it's hilarious. Every block, every kill, every service ace, their entire bench would explode and do some sort of coordinated dance.
That one goes out of play, much to the delight of the Knights faithful. And you know, Bob, how a rooster kind of crows in the sunrise? Like you hear the rooster, and you're like, oh, the sun's up. You hear the Knights Ultras there on that far bench, and you realize a goal kick is coming.
Of course. Keeps us on our toes and alert to what's going on.
So some pattern recognition in the broadcast booth as Tanko and Powers collide.
Pattern recognition.
We'll say
that's brilliant.
We'll say Tanko is the victorious party. Baldwin to throw it in. Stops, now fires. Milburn will play it off a bounce. She's guarded tightly by Williams. Milburn guarding Williams. That one will go out of play. It'll stick with Mount St. Mary. Baldwin now. Not about it. Baldwin tried to get it to Milburn. Tanko there. Good pass. Tanko there to pick it up. Tanko now on the outside. A whistle offside. Or a whistle and a foul, sorry.
A little bit of pushing and shoving there on
It'll
the
go the way of the Privateers. Tripping over my words a little bit. Bob, it has been a long day.
I'd imagine. Lots of classes. Some practice and now a game.
3 classes of practice straight into the booth. And the only bad part about fall weather is Tanko jumps out the gym just to get ahead on that one. That one's sent straight up. Mejia was able to make a play on it for Maritime quickly. Has that one taken away by Mahaly. Mahaly will leave it for Shotter. Fall weather is nice and all, but I'm not from around here. I am not used to cold weather. This is my 3rd year here. I'm still not used to it. And I mean, that's just not fun. I mean, it's not going to be warm anymore. I will miss that. That one goes out of play. Now that the sun is gone here in the booth, the temperature has dropped considerably. It was pretty nice today.
Yeah, it was in the high 60s and it was sunny, so it was calm with a little breeze.
But I mean,
though it has probably dropped towards the 50s with the sun going down.
If I've learned anything from northeast weather, it's that's probably the last nice day we're getting for the rest of the calendar year. As that one goes out of play, the Knights will be awarded their 9th corner kick. And
so the Ultras have evacuated the stands. I think they're moving to the hill. Pack the hill, as we like to say in baseball. Seems to be they have...
The supporter section is mobile as Mahaly resumes her corner kick duties. That one a low-line drive. Hansen getting a foot on it. Nicely done. She'll leave it back outside the box for Mahaly, and the Knights are looking to set up another play. Mahaly sends that one to deep. Tanko gets a head on it.
Ooh.
Right at Quintero. So some nifty play design there for Mount St. Mary. That ball just ends up right into the hands of the Privateer goalkeeper. So that is the 19th shot on goal of the game. Wow. But the Knights still waiting on their extra point. Still 6-0.
Suppose it is a little bit difficult for our folks over in the scoring booth to keep track of the game when it starts to become a football score.
De Leon Portillo now for Shotter.
And our Ultra section have all migrated to the brick wall in front of the Garden Apartments. So the away goalkeeper, Stella Quintero, is going to be getting an earful for these remaining 30 minutes.
As now Shotter turns it upfield. The Knights obviously looking for more. Shotter will swing it, tried to get it to Welsh. Good defense there from Powers. A foot on it there. Now working with it upfield. Tries to go Barrich. Barrich has that one taken away by Nakarado. Nakarado will now swing it for Baldwin. Baldwin now fires that one upfield, gets it for Welsh. Welsh immediately gets it to Mahaly. Mahaly leaves it back for Welsh. Some nifty passing there from the Knights. Here's Welsh cutting inside. She has a step on fellow number 20, Williams. She sends it up for Tanko. Tanko fires, it's in! And ladies and gentlemen, a hat trick on senior night for Lily Tanko. You can't write a better script than that.
Hey, her family here from Montana to see her score 3 goals in a blowout win, or at least barring
A blowout
7
game
goal,
so far. The Knights,
barring a 7-goal comeback.
so Tanko knocks home the extra point. Your score now 7-0 Mount St. Mary.
Though I believe she meant to cross that, hit her foot a bit, and it kind of just fell into the back of the net.
The soccer equivalent of throwing up an alley-oop from 35 feet out and having it end up in the net. And again, Bob, to quote you quoting a TV show, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Of course, always.
Now here's the Privateers moving right to left, looking for any offense, really, down 7 as that one's rifled out of play behind the end line. And if this isn't the first one of the game, it's the first one in a very, very long time. As Juliana Washko places the ball down for a corner kick. She'll waste no time, just dumps it off to her left for Maria Baldwin. As here now come the Knights. De Leon Portillo will swing it for Barone along the far sideline. Barone stops. She'll leave it for Schotter. Schotter passes midfield. Guarded tightly. Schotter works that one towards the middle. Beautiful pass up ahead for Welsh. Welsh will field that one in stride. Welsh now makes a move, turns upfield. Working on Sarah Williams. Welsh leaves that one towards the middle. Mahali gets a shot off. That one blocked, but still loose in front. Quintero can't corral it. Mahali ends up with it again. Works it towards the middle. Still loose in front.
Oh.
And now Quintero grabs it and makes the play. So the 8th goal of the game right there on the doorstep for Mount St. Mary. Unfortunately, nobody home to hammer that one in. And it stays 7-0 as is. Mahali stops, fires for Hansen. Hansen bounces off the defense. The Knights able to retain possession. Schotter works it across the field. She'll get it for Tanko. Tanko off the foot. Can she keep it in play? Yes, she can, right in front of the Knights bench, earning the applause of her teammates. Tanko makes a nice move, works in on Powers, leaves it for Milburn. Milburn guarded tightly by Merle. She'll leave it for Welsh as Quintero. That ball was kicked right out. Quintero got a hand on it, couldn't catch it. So it caroms off the pole, and Quintero will grab it on the rebound. Still 7-0. 30-44 to play and counting down here in the second half. Tanko will work it towards the middle. Good touch. Milburn gets a foot on it. Now leaves it for Schotter. Schotter lines one up just to the left. Well out of play.
So our Ultras were directed to get off of the fence. I think that is for safety reasons. So they are back to their originally assumed bleachers.
And just as the rooster rings in the sunrise, the Ultras will usher in this goal kick. Figured I'd let the crowd do the work there as that ball sent away by Merle, falling to all fours as Tanko. Physical defense there from both parties. Baldwin now engaged in some tight defense. She's guarded tightly by Hannah Crown. A whistle, a stoppage, a foul on the Knights. And so it'll now be a free kick for the Privateers. 7 goals on 21 shots. The Knights keeping pace with that 1 goal every 3 shots. Man, we saw in the first half, and I mean, that is an impressive statistic no matter which way you slice it.
It's crazy volume, it's crazy efficiency. I mean, can't say much more than just dominance, really.
And I mean, if you don't like offense, you don't like sliced bread. As
Okay,
Tanko gets a
here,
head
ball.
on it, coming to the
Okay,
booth.
here, ball.
That one looked a lot more exciting than it was.
Doug.
Bob and our signature play in the broadcast booth continues to elude us. You know what, Bob? I hope it happens tonight. Vibes are good tonight. Knights are up big. It's a senior day. Big 3 points. We're in a position to pick up another big 3 points as that one's booted upfield. Baldwin giving chase. She's guarded tightly by Gibson. Baldwin will win that battle. Baldwin now with speed. Beats Merle. Baldwin falls.
And she gets the penalty.
And it is a penalty. We saw one earlier in the contest that the referees might have missed. Rest assured, they will not miss this one.
Baldwin making a great run on her own.
And of course,
whole bench exploding with her as she went upfield.
And Baldwin, one of 3 usual captains for the Mount St. Mary Knights. What a moment it would be if the longtime captain can pick up a goal on senior night.
This would be her first of the season as well, Lucas.
Baldwin lines one up, fires, it's in!
Dear God. That was a thunderbolt.
And
I didn't even realize the referee had whistled for her to take the shot.
And Baldwin wastes no time. The captain goes bar down.
Wow.
She joins two. And she's now the third of 4 seniors to pick up a goal here in tonight's senior night contest. And Bob, the first of the year, that one was a beauty.
Man, oh man, that might have been 60 off her foot. I mean, that was just, that's a center back's goal there. That was a thunderbolt, wasting no time
That ball crushed. Baldwin, the usual defender, picks up her first of the year. The Knights pick up an octopus. Baldwin, that ball still bouncing around. Baldwin works it back towards the middle. Getting a head on it are the Privateers, just looking to get the ball out of their own end. It's been a theme for them the whole game. A shotter will now swing it for Barone. Barone will pick it up with speed. Now she'll slow down. Picks the speed back up. Here now Milburn. Milburn works it towards the middle. Baldwin was there. That ball's still bouncing around. It's Mahaly corralling a loose ball. Mahaly will leave it for Baldwin. Baldwin runs it down. Still in play. Now out of play. And ladies and gentlemen, we will let the men's team in that far bleacher take it away. Oh, there it is. There it is. I was worried they had given up.
Like clockwork.
A little bit.
It's brilliant.
A little bit delayed. I was worried there for a second, but sure enough.
To mix a quote from a movie, Lucas, how can you not be romantic about soccer?
Yeah, this is good stuff.
I mean, it's just brilliant stuff, you know. 3 or 4 seniors scoring on senior night. Almost the entire men's team out and about to support the women's team. 2 of our sides vying very strongly for playoff spots. I mean, it's a good night to be a night.
As of the broadcast, both the men's and women's teams are in the playoff picture. In the regular season, there are, I believe, 2 games left. This is the second of 2, or the first of 2, depending on how you want to look at it for the women. That comes for the men tomorrow. But either way, playoff soccer here at Kaplan is very much a possibility.
You want to talk about playoffs?
Playoffs? You want to talk about playoffs? That ball's still bouncing around in front. Milburn getting a foot on it. Powers rifles that one upfield. Barone, the only woman in the area, she'll knock it down. The Knights are going to be able to set up some offense. She'll leave it for Hansen. Hansen cuts towards the middle. Somehow keeps the ball. Fires a rocket. That shot blocked right in front. Hansen gets another shot off. That one will end up just over the cage, out of play.
Keen to shoot twice. Got herself 2 opportunities. Extra point is good, though the goal is not.
And with 26:36 left to play, there's still plenty of time for the Knights to pick up even more insurance. Now more so picking up goals for a tiebreaker.
And picking up more noise as our men's team lets it eat once again.
Here's Hansen. Hansen will now just lose that one out of play. A throw-in coming for the Privateers.
Of course, the goal difference is going to be in very good shape after this match. Scoring 8 goals is nothing but good things.
And Bob, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you said going into this game the Knights were plus 10? Or are they now at plus 10?
I would have to double-check my stat sheet I had in front of me a minute ago.
That ball's still bouncing around as somebody stops, sends it away. Here's Tanko. Tanko now with the step. Tanko stops. Good move, cuts it now inside. Tanko looking for her 4th of the contest. She'll send one away. Just knocking at the door of Estella Quintero. That ball kicked right at her. Quintero will make the routine save.
My stat sheet has disappeared. Somewhere in the realm of plus 10, yes. So someone has snagged my stat sheet.
Maybe it was me. That ball bouncing around in front. It's hard on a windy night in the broadcast booth. You have to make sure the series of papers the broadcasters get are secured fastly. Now here's Hansen. Hansen looking for her first of the game. She scores! And Caitlin Hansen, already the team's leading scorers, completes the Mount Rushmore of senior scoring here on senior night. 4 of 4. Hansen picks up her first of the contest. Mount St. Mary, 9. Maritime, nothing.
4 of a kind, Lucas. Objective complete. Call the suit on Gin Rummy because we have got ourselves a full house. So after that goal, we're up 9-0, correct?
Correct.
So we're plus 7 before this game, including the 9. We're plus 16 now. So that'll help out a whole lot in conference standings. Depending on, a little round of applause for Hansen as she exits after her goal. So that'll help out a lot, barring or given if we are tied with anyone on overall.
Good to know. And, but, you know, Bob,
Though there are a million different tiebreakers, not to cut you off, there's a million different
do tell.
tiebreakers you can use, so I'm not exactly sure what the Skyline does, because I don't know any of them personally, and they don't make that public knowledge on their website.
And what fun it is, though, Bob, to be able to have done almost a season's worth of games for 2 playoff caliber teams. And
It's exciting stuff.
And a would-be win tonight for the women's puts them in an incredible spot, especially with the season finale to come against a struggling St. Joe's Brooklyn side. As that ball's still bouncing around, Nacarado able to knock it down. And Nacarado makes a move on Hardy. That ball's still bouncing around. Hardy takes that one away from Nacarado. Nacarado takes it right back. It'll be out of play. And it will go left to right the way of the Knights. And Bob, I know you touched on this earlier in the broadcast, but what a fun night this has been. You can't really ask for much more in a soccer game. A senior night, no less. And I mean, as of right now, for the last home game the women will play here at Kaplan Field, it has been everything you'd want it to be.
It certainly has, and as of now, we will jump Sarah Lawrence in the standings, so we will slide into number 5. We are both 5-3. We have beat Sarah Lawrence this year, and with a plus 16 goal differential, I would just take a shot from the hip that we have a better goal differential than them.
It's hard to beat a plus 16.
Yeah.
Because that ball's still bouncing around. Shot or thought about it. She'll leave it for Mahali. Mahali lines one up. She'll fire right at Quintero. Quintero can't corral it. No Knights in the area, so Quintero will snag that one.
Please for a handball from our remaining ultras. That's going to crack me up all night.
Around.
That's hilarious. That's so good.
And soccer gets a little bit tricky with ties and all that, but usually in terms of magic numbers and just in terms of clinching a playoff spot, you want to be out of reach of the first team out of the playoff picture. So the Knights would have to be the team currently in 7th place mathematically will not be able to catch the Knights, and that will secure the Knights a playoff spot.
Manhattanville is 7th at 4-4. We have beaten Manhattanville as well. So this will put us in a phenomenal spot after today's victory, barring a 10-goal comeback from Maritime.
So Manhattanville's 4-4. We, as in the Knights, currently 5-3. Assuming we win, we will be 6-3. So we will be up 6 points on Manhattanville with a game left to play for us, a couple of games left to play for them. So either way, assuming we pick up a big 3 points in our next contest, if the women are able to pick up a win in the game after this one, I will say we are pretty much all but locked up a playoff spot.
More or less, I mean, they about control their own destiny, though they are not top of the table.
That one's out of play. And really, even though if you're not at the top of the table, in terms of wanting to clinch a playoff spot, being able to control your own destiny is incredibly important.
Always, as we will wrap up the season with SJLI, St. Joe's Long Island, who is 2nd in the Skyline, and SJB, who is St. Joe's Brooklyn, who is last in the Skyline.
Okay.
For the women.
Oh, so we have multiple games left. They're just
we
both
have 2 games.
Okay, I see. Okay, so I had missed a game when comparing men's and women's schedules. So that is my mistake.
I think they actually have mirror schedules. I think the men have the exact same schedule.
Beautiful pass up ahead. Light was there in pursuit. It'll go out of play. Light fires a shot after the whistle, much to the chagrin of the Privateers. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, I know Bob and I have been trying to throw a lot of information at you, but to make it simple, a win tonight would be really, really good. And any ability to get 3 points in the 2 games that follow this one would be really, really good.
Absolutely.
So that ball continuing to bounce around. Light knocks it down. Light tried to get it to Fernino along the far sideline. That ball goes through the legs of Light. Right behind her is Tondini. Tondini will stop, fire, send one for Baldwin. Baldwin up along the near sideline. She'll work it past Powers. Has that ball tied up in her feet. Baldwin makes a move, chips it towards Robinson. Robinson in the box. She can't catch up to it. That one ends up out of play. And it will be a throw-in for the Mount. De Leon Portillo, that's Nacarado firing it in for Mount St. Mary. Welsh will leave it for Nacarado. Nacarado works it towards the middle, getting a foot on it, Tondini. Tondini stops on a dime, turns around, tried to pass it behind her. Good defense there. Taking that away is Hannah Crown for the Privateers. Crown cuts through the midfield circle, now stops. She'll leave it for Mejia. Mejia's pass up ahead. Giving chase is Garcia. Garcia now cuts around the defense. Garcia will look to send it towards the middle. She has Awoleke there with her. That one blocked by Nakarado. Good defense there. Out of play. But it will be the second corner kick of the contest for the Privateers as we dip under the 20-minute mark.
Hey, 2's a pair, and that's not a bad result to have there as they're down 9. Got to find whatever you can find. Try and get one for pride as you're going to go home. A long journey back to, I don't think it's actually officially Long Island, but they're not too far outside of it.
I want to say Throg's Neck.
I think you're right. That sounds about right.
Of course. Because
Of course, my geography of New York is not up to snuff because
neither
I'm not
mine.
a New Yorker.
Neither of us are New Yorkers,
Yeah.
which is really convenient when they hired us to do soccer games for
Hiring
teams based
two-
entirely in New
Two
York.
non-New York natives to call games for a New York-based conference.
As Merle fires that one in, leaping effort, still across the box, getting a shot off for the Privateers. That one goes just high. So a good chance there for Maritime to pick up their first of the contest. That shot goes just high. And Coach Dolan, even with a 9-goal lead, tells his girls, you can't let it be that easy.
Of course, I mean, you got to keep the girls drilled. You got to stay disciplined through this.
That ball's still bouncing around. Tondini wears it off the foot. She'll leave it for Nino. Nino works it towards the middle. Schotter gets a foot on it. Schotter giving chase. Also there is Gibson. Gibson gets a foot on it, but that ball will stay in play. Nino able to track it down for the mount. Nino tried to work it towards the middle. Has that one blocked by Gibson. She'll wisely let it go out of play. And if my calculations are correct, this should be a corner kick for the mount.
Number 10, that should be.
As Evie Dowd checks back into the contest for the home team, leaving is Desiliana Nakarado.
So while we get ourselves a little bit of a transition to play, Lucas, the folks at home will find me in the booth tomorrow, 6 p.m. for women's volleyball versus Manhattan. One Chloe Graham in the booth for the 25th at 12 p.m. against St. Joe's Brooklyn for volleyball. And we'll find me and Lucas again in the booth, men's soccer versus St. Joseph's Brooklyn, the 29th at 6 p.m. here at Kaplan Field.
I look forward to it.
So a little bit of a
All right.
update through the remainder of our weeks.
And then it's not too long before basketball season gets underway. I will be doing play-by-play for basketball. Color still a little bit up in the air. Hopefully Bob pops in for a game or two.
We'll have to see.
We're both very busy men. I, of course, fortunate enough to do this as an internship, and Bob, incredibly skillful in his craft as media manager for the baseball team. And you're looking to broaden your horizons. That's my understanding. Your work is highly sought after, as it should be.
Trying to expand my reel, as those in our business say.
As Light sets it up, rifles that one towards the middle. That one will cut through the box. Giving chase is Schotter. Schotter, good kick right behind her. Robinson is there. Robinson trips up. Robinson able to maintain possession, still in play.
Oh,
The referees will wave the flag. That ball towing the line apparently just got too far out of play. Another goal kick coming. And the cold weather and the large, the gap in the score and the cold weather have not stopped the faithful
they're out in large.
yet. We'll see. It's a little unusually quiet before this goal kick. As checking back in comes Christiana Mackey.
Probably giving the substitution a moment. Heard a singular
And an uncharacteristically quiet goal kick, at least for the second half. As Crown sends that one across the field. Tondini, the only woman in the area. She'll get a body on it, knock it down, immediately swing it upfield for Light. Light gets a foot on it, pokes it into the goalie box, giving chases for Nino. Unable to get a body on it. Hardy runs that one towards the near sideline, now runs it up the near sideline. Quickly picked up by Fernino. Fernino can't get a foot on it. I don't think she got a foot on it. We'll see who the referees award possession. It will... Let's see. I mean, nobody's made a proper signal yet. Nobody's in any hurry to get to the sideline either. And it'll be the Privateers awarded possession. Actually, it won't be a throw-in at all. It'll be a free kick right inside that out-of-play line. As here come the Privateers getting a foot on that. Crown flicks it upfield. Faith Welsh knocks it down. Welsh will leave it for Baldwin. Baldwin cuts up along the near sideline, blows past the scorer's table. She's guarded tightly by Powers. Baldwin will leave it for Robinson. Robinson leaves it back for Baldwin. Baldwin able to track it down, works it up along the end line. Will rifle that one towards the middle. Has that shot blocked by Morrill. and it will be another corner kick. Kellyanne Moran to do the honors for
Taking
the
yourself
Mount.
a long trek from the midway line.
15 and a half to play. Your score, Mount St. Mary 9, Privateers nothing. So Moran waits, sets, fires. Here it comes. The Knights crash the net hard. Getting a body on it is Gibson. That ball still bouncing around. Here's Tondini. Tondini leaves it for Nino. For Nino, cross-field pass, nobody home. Escorting that one out of play behind the end line is Carolina Hardy. It'll go out of play. Checking back into the game for the Privateers, Stephanie DeMann. You really can't ask for a better offensive game than this, Bob.
I mean, dang.
I'm in awe at the scoreboard
Can't
right
say
now.
much. For those tuning in for the first time, welcome on in. You have not accidentally checked on a Maritime football game. This is a women's soccer game. And the Mount St. Mary College Knights have scored 9 goals tonight. So a little bit of a shooting gallery from the Lady Knights, as they're sometimes referred to on campus. And a playoff-bound Lady Knights looking to find themselves deeper into playoff seeding in the Skyline Conference.
A win, much-needed 3 points for them out. That would be good as of right now to push them into 5th place. And, Bob, I don't know if you heard on that most recent goal kick. The supporters section back out. They're back. I was worried for a second as there was an unusually quiet goal kick not too long ago.
Love that. And if I can make a little mention, shout out to our one of many favorite coaches, Joe Dolan. He filled in last year as an interim through, I think, a little over half the season. Girls finished just outside a playoff spot, like narrowly missed it on a tiebreaker at the very end of the year. Dropped the ball on the 1-yard line, as they would say. And this year's his first full season as a coach. They are on their way to making a playoff spot. So congratulations, Joe, for locking in the squad and getting it done.
Knock on wood, Coach Dolan, his first full season, got off to a 5-0 start. Assuming this 9-0 score holds up, the Knights will move to 6-3. I've had the pleasure of interviewing him 5 times now, or it feels like 5 times. Usually if he and I get to talk to each other after the game, it means it was a good one.
Of course. That's the sentiment I've built with Coach Longacre of the men's team.
Baldwin swings it. Bob and I getting into the sports media field in every aspect, broadcasting and sideline reporting alike.
We do double as sideline reporters.
There's that one almost out of play. Robinson, good effort to keep that in play. She'll try and get that one towards the middle. Tough angle. It'll go out of play behind the end line. It'll rattle up behind the cage.
It's always some fun working double time on volleyball games because I have to interview the coach and the player back-to-back on my own. So I have to try and not replicate the same 3 questions for a similar outcome of a match.
Right. And I've had a few games where I've had to broadcast them by myself, but I guess the teams just miss you when you aren't around because I haven't had to do too many double-duty interviews. I know I did one for the men's game not too long ago because that was the first time I'd gotten to interview Coach Longacre. Because usually for whatever reason, Bob and I have fallen into this unspoken agreement that Bob will take the coach for the men's games and the player for the women's games, and me the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how that arrangement came about. That just seems to be the arrangement. So you and I have been able to build some camaraderie with the respective leaders of both sides.
Always. Coach Longacre, a great lad. Wish him best of luck tomorrow in Throgs Neck, New York, the gorgeous riverfront they'll be playing on.
So an exciting finish to the season, at least an exciting finish to the season is in store for both sides. Obviously the season hasn't finished yet, but if it's been anything like the season's been so far, it will certainly be exciting. As Moran knocks that one down, she tried to get it to Fornino. Good defense there from the Privateers. That ball will end up out of play along the far sideline. The line judge signals it will go the way of the Knights. Tondini will leave it for Moran. That ball over the out of play line. So in turn it is out of play. And that is one rule in soccer that I find interesting, that the ball can be over the out of play line, but still be considered out of bounds.
Yes. I was trying to comprehend what you said.
Okay.
Yes, I do understand what you're saying.
So for the people at home,
Yeah.
for reference, think of a basketball court, if you will. I mean, obviously sidelines to all lines. The ball in basketball is not out of play until it actually touches the ground out of bounds. In soccer, the ball is considered out of play if it is anywhere over the out of play line, which is what we just saw there.
Yeah, it's It's interesting that you can leave the ball on the line and it still be considered in play for certain. Some very, very technical things that you can get into. There was, of course, getting into some random archives here. A few years ago during the World Cup, Japan won a game on a play where the ball was 0.1 centimeters or so, I think, on the line. Like, literally a sliver of the ball was on the line. They considered it in for a goal.
That is absurd.
So Spain lost on less than an inch, which is crazy stuff when you think about it. A
Well,
game of inches, as they say in lots of sports.
Well,
Soccer definitely one of them.
It's impressive that soccer, at least on the professional level, you have the metrics to be able to determine that ball was in by a tenth of a centimeter.
Well, it's really cool because they put chips inside the balls, so you can get replays of them.
Well, they do that for a lot of sports now. They just added that to the NFL. I'm pretty sure tennis does it in some capacity.
Yeah, volleyball does it as well. Volleyball is really cool because they give you virtual graphics of it, and it'll show the shadow over the ball landed.
That's
so you look at what the shadow is. If the shadow's in, then it's in. And if the shadow's out, it's out. It's not the actual ball itself.
Tondini's pass across the field, knocked down by Welsh. Welsh will swing it for Baldwin. Baldwin up ahead now for Dowd. Dowd takes a step, tries to pass it up ahead, deflected, but it ends up with the intended target, Robinson, nonetheless. Robinson will swing it to Mackey. Mackey cuts it upfield, tried to get it to Light. That pass just out of her reach. So the Privateer is able to knock that one away. We have since dipped under the 10-minute mark, 9 minutes, 14 seconds to play. Your score still 9-0 Mount St. Mary. 9 goals on 25 shots, which means the Knights are scoring goals less than every third shot, which is insanely impressive.
That's absurd. That's video game numbers. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't have anything intelligent or philosophical to say or profound. It's impressive stuff.
Well, I mean, the strange thing about being a broadcaster, or at least one thing about being a broadcaster, is advice you get a lot is try not to beat a dead horse. And I mean, that makes sense because nobody wants to hear the same thing over and over and over again. But in a game like this, where the same themes have been prevalent the entire game, it's a little hard to stray away from that. I mean, we can't, obviously we can't state enough as that ball's knocked down by a Washko. I mean, we can't reiterate enough times that this has been an offensive just masterpiece for the Mount.
Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff, you know?
That's
all of our seniors score on senior day. We have almost 30 shots towards the net. 25 on net, at least 30 shots total. 9 goals, I mean, there's not a whole lot more you could ask for.
That one ends up out of play. Another throw-in coming for Mount St. Mary. Maria Baldwin to do the honors. We have dipped under the 8-minute mark as the finish line is well within sight. The finish line, frankly, has been in sight since about 20 minutes into the first half as that ball's sent straight up. Welsh will get a head on it. Takes a weird bounce. It'll go out of play, untouched, right in front of the Knights bench. A throw-in coming for the Privateers. Sarah Williams do the honors from Oceanside, New York.
Oceanside. I wonder where geographically that's located.
That's
you
a
think they look at an
fantastic
ocean?
question. I mean, it's funny because, I mean, obviously you can only name a city so many things. But New York State has a lot of cities in common with Southern California. Like, even just looking at this list, Long Beach, pretty famous city, also in Southern California. This is, of course, being Long Beach, New York. Oceanside, another Southern California city.
So Long Beach is on Long Island, no?
If I had to guess.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Just one of the guys on the baseball team is from Long Beach.
Yes. Faith Welsh does some yard work, puts the ball in the appropriate spot. We have dipped under the 7-minute mark. 6:44 to play as Welsh raises her arms. The referee is directing traffic a little bit. Now the whistle blown. Welsh walks it in, fires downfield, leaping effort from multiple parties. It'll be the Knights coming away with that one. Here's Tondini. Tondini swings it for Baldwin. Baldwin just outside the attacking third, now moves the ball in. She'll swing it to Robinson. Robinson working around the defense. That ball poked away. Robinson, good job getting a foot on it. She'll swing it back for Welsh. Welsh will leave it now for Dowd. Dowd, that pass up ahead, intercepted. As Crown sends that one upfield off the foot of Welsh. Here's Awaleke for the Privateers. Awaleke stops, turns around. She'll leave it deep for Crown. Crown kicks it away. We'll take a couple of bounces. A Washko in pursuit. She'll knock it down. And we have been so caught up in talking about the offense, Bob. I mean, the defense I mean, a wise man once said, a quote that's fun and certainly applicable to tonight, the best defense is a good offense. And
Yep.
that is, and tonight's contest is the epitome of that phrase. And Juliana Washko, she's pitching a shutout, but in part thanks to the fact that the Privateers have not put a shot on goal yet.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't have to do a whole lot of work when your squad puts up 9 on the opposing team. It definitely makes things easier, takes the pressure off of you.
So everybody wins. The 10 position players put up 9, and as of right now, knock on wood, which I just realized, the broadcasting curse is still very much a real thing. I've experienced it a couple of times as Mejia works it inside. Now getting a foot on it is Mackey. That ball takes a couple of bounces. Sending it back deep is Merrill. And now here's Fornino moving back in the right direction. And you see, Bob, funny story, and now we have 4:45 to play, so I have a little bit of time to tell it. I mean, as Fornino stops, has that one taken away. That one will go out of play, last touched off of light. So, I mean, the broadcaster's curse, I mean, you've heard it countless times. The broadcaster will mention a statistic or they'll say something and effectively jinx the player they're talking about. And I had seen it happen multiple times. I watch a lot of sports. I'm sure you do.
Mhm.
So I had seen it in effect, but I refused to believe it was real. I refused to believe that I possessed this power because, I mean, I don't do professional sports yet. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
So we're not. I'm speaking it into existence.
Of course.
So this is 20 years from now, when I'm broadcasting professional sports, I'll look back on this.
Here we
But
go.
anyway, we were broadcasting our Skyline Conference champion women's basketball team. Shout out to them. But the women they were playing, I forget which team, but this particular woman at the line had never missed a free throw.
Really?
Hadn't missed a free throw at all that year, and it was an impressive number too. She was 20 for 20, maybe 22 for 22. Either way, she hadn't missed a free throw, and it was an impressive enough streak to where people took note that she hadn't missed a free throw. And so, sure enough, she hits the first one, and I'm like, you know what? Let's try this out. Let's see. Let's see. And I was like, so as not to invoke the broadcast curse, this woman has not missed a free throw yet this year. And then she bricked the second one, right off the back iron.
Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
And I was speechless.
Wow.
It was I hadn't realized that becoming a broadcaster meant that the broadcaster's curse, that power is vested in me. It is at my fingertips.
It is scary stuff.
And ever since accidentally unleashing it that one time, I've tried to keep it in my back pocket.
Reminds me of my Saturday matchup with the women's volleyball. One of our girls that is usually a pinch server had a really good run in the first set. She got like 6 straight serves. We scored 6 straight points. We won the first set. So she gets subbed back in the second set. So I'm thinking, okay, she had a great run the first set. So I mentioned, I said, so-and-so, great run the first set. See what she does here. Steps to the line, lets one rip, puts it straight into the middle of the net. We lose the point immediately.
That's exactly how it is.
I love myself. Damn.
Well, yeah. The thing is, I have seen it over and over again on national broadcasts, and then it happened to me where I was the broadcaster, and I felt terrible.
Like, oh dear. What have I done to this poor woman?
I'd ruined this poor woman's streak of 20 plus free throws, all because I had decided to say something.
That's terrible. You seen that clip of the other day on NFL Sunday where they were covering highlights? I think it was on Fox or whatever. And they had mentioned Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins, and literally as they were talking about it, another interception was thrown as they were highlighting his first interception.
It was a game break to show the audience that Tua Tagovailoa had thrown his second interception of the game. And while they were giving the breaking news announcement that he had thrown his second interception, he threw his third interception.
It's brilliant. And Quinn Ewers came into the game.
As we dip under 90 seconds to play, the Knights a minute and a half away from a resounding 9-0 win. As here comes Maritime looking for any sort of momentum. A minute 15 left to play. That one goes out of play. A throw in a favorable spot now for the Privateers. As that ball's left right along the sideline. We are approaching the minute mark. So, ladies and gentlemen, 59 seconds to play and counting down. Thought about throwing that one in, stops for a second, now commits. Fires away. It's a good pass. Dowd right there on defense for the Mount. Getting a foot on it, sending it out of play is Moran. So I believe this will be a corner kick. 40 seconds left to play and counting down, as both sides assume appropriate positions. As Merle fires, leaping effort from Light and Dowd both. That ball ends up straight up, bouncing around the goalie box. The Knights need to get it out. Welsh now makes a move. Welsh cuts around, fires upfield. This ball will end up out of play, right in front of the Knights bench, coming to a stop at the feet of Coach Dolan. And with 10 seconds left to play, that ball's thrown in. Public address announcer taking the countdown away. 5 seconds counting down. And Bob, we have hammered it the whole game. Just an absolutely incredible performance on offense for the Knights. The Knights snap a 3-game skid, jump into 5th place in the skyline, giving them some breathing room in their pursuit of a playoff spot. And Bob, I mean, like we talked about several times over the broadcast, the themes of this game never really changed. So I feel like we've said all that needs to be said. But Bob, do you have any closing statements here tonight?
I heard Beacon's train coming into dock here just a second ago. So, Lucas, the Knights are leaving the station. We'll be going down to Long Island as playoff contenders, as we are, at least I believe, in 5th place if my preliminary stats do not deceive me. So, other than that, that is a monstrous win, a safety and a touchdown for the Lady Knights today. I am very impressed.
A field goal and a safety and a touchdown, or a field goal and a touchdown and a missed extra point, or 3 field goals.
Or 3 field goals.
But
Giants offense, or a
not
Jets
anymore.
offense.
The Jets
not
offense,
the
yeah.
not
The
the
Giants are
Giants.
good
The
now.
Jets offense sort of day. Aaron Glenn must have been in the house.
So,
Justin Fields punching the air right now.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lucas Stackpole. With me, as always, my good friend Bob Hauk. We thank you, as always, if this is the last women's game we get to do this year. I thank you sincerely. I'm sure Bob does as well. But thank you sincerely from both of us for just putting up with us all year. It's been an absolute blast. Hopefully we get the chance to do a playoff game. But just in case this is goodbye, thank you so very much, as always. Thank you again for making us part of your Tuesday evening. And Bob, you got anything?
Just God bless as always. Thank you guys so much for putting up with us on a weekly basis. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for volleyball.
And ladies and gentlemen, you hear me next on October 29th when the men's take on St. Joseph's Brooklyn. Thank you as always. In the meantime, be well, and I will see you then.
See you later.